So currently I'm a Sun Devil, but at my heart I am a Scarlet Knight. And since there are 1,440 minutes in a day, I ask you to give me 5 of those minutes and to share with you some experiences that led to lessons learned. And thanks to Jim and my studies here at GSC in philosophy, I believe that experiences do not occur unless a lesson is learned. And so I want to share with you 3. Experience number 1 began here when I was a student at GSC, thanks to my advisor, Saran Bukak, who always taught me to think big and to fail forward. And so in doing so, I followed her advice and submitted an article to one of the most reputable, high-impact journals in the field of education. Not too surprisingly, especially after I reread what I submitted. It was rejected. And she saw me in the hall and asked what was wrong, and I said my article was denied acceptance. I couldn't say the word rejection. And she looked at me and said, Kim, you need to learn how to say the word rejection and to accept it not as a sign of failure, but perhaps as an opportunity to move forward. And so in the subsequent years, I learned what that really meant. We know from work such as Patricia Hill Collins that we as a society should reject the matrix of domination. We know from looking at bell hooks that we should reject the notion that difference and diversity is something negative. We know that we need to reject a system that allows some girls and some students to succeed while others are simply written off as disenfranchised or marginalized. And so, rejection is not a bad thing. The second experience comes from my family. And I'm honored that Frank and Janet DiMartino, my cousins, are here representing my family. And I want to speak briefly about my parents, James and Beverly Scott, both of whom were first-generation high school students. They came from families that would be considered at-risk, single-family households. In fact, my paternal grandmother was illiterate the vast majority of her life. But despite this, my parents graduated high school, graduated college, earned their doctorates, and in fact, they were both professors and administrators here at Rutgers University. Now, understandably, I'm biased, and I think that's a phenomenal story. But I think it's phenomenal not only because of what they were able to accomplish, because that runs the risk of contributing to the bootstrapping myth, that they clearly have pulled themselves up despite adversity. No, I share that story because their success is tethered to a system, their parents, extended family, teachers, principals, educators, neighbors, peers, collectively coming together to ensure not only that they would succeed, but that my sister and I and our children. Experience number 3. I recall and I am appreciative to the girls who participate in my CompuGirls program, a multimedia program that's national. And it's from the program that I've learned this following lesson, is that girls, no matter how economically challenged, no matter how far they've been labeled at risk, they don't need to be inspired. They already are. They don't need a program to motivate them, because they are. And they don't need for us to give voice. They simply need space for us to listen. And so I encourage all of you today, particularly those who have newly received the last 2 or 3 letters of your name, to think about what you want to do with the next 1,435 minutes. And I encourage you to fail forward, to think big, to challenge inequitable systems by creating coalitions, and to remember to provide the space so that others can dream. Martin Luther King did not give a "I have an issue" speech. He didn't. His speech was, "I have a dream." And so today may be the beginning of your dreams, but think about it forward. Who else can you inspire? Who else can you dream? Thank you.